darlings, for today's video I'll be creating 3 looks using the Buxom Boss Babe Betty palette. For the first look, I'm creating a half cut crease. To start, I'm priming my eyelids with the Plouise base in 0.5. This base doesn't need to be set, so I'm going ahead and beginning to apply shadow on top. The first shade I'm packing into my crease is called Werk, which is a reddish brown matte shade. I'm applying this using a Morphe M506 brush, which is great for precise placement of shadows. Next, I'm blending that Werk shade out by sweeping this terracotta matte shade called Invite Only along the upper edge of what we just applied using the Morphe M562 brush. This brush is really great for creating a nice transition between 2 shadows. Its small brush head allows for controlled blending so that you don't get too carried away and blend too far up.
Now I'm gonna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget, I've been thinking.
Now I'm cutting my crease using some Plouise base and the Morphe JH42 brush from the Jaclyn Hill Master Brush collection, which is my favorite brush set. Since I'm creating a half cut crease, I'm placing the product down starting at the inner corner of my eye and rounding it up into the crease, creating a half moon shape. I'm stopping about 3/4 the way across the length of my eye so that I don't cut out the shadow that I've placed in the outer V. Once I'm happy with the sharpness of my line, I'm tapping the product onto the lid space so that it's nice and smooth before moving on to applying more shadow. I'm now adding depth to the crease by applying the darkest shade in the palette called Unapologetic. I'm using the JH40 brush to do this, which is very similar to the M506 brush but has a slightly more pointed tip. Next, I'm going back in with the M506 brush and applying a bit more of the shade Werk to the outer V, just so that darker brown shade blends in a little better. Now to fill in the area we cut out, I'm applying 4 different shimmery shades going from lightest to darkest. First, I'm applying the warm gold shimmer called Gold Status, then I'm applying the soft copper metallic shade called For Real. I'm also applying the rust brown metallic shade called Boom and the deep bronze shimmer shade called Bronze Spot. To blend that last shimmery shade with the outer V, I'm just tapping on a little bit more of the matte shade from before. Now for my lower lash line, I'm applying the same shadows that I applied in my crease. First, I'm adding the shade Werk, then I'm blending that out with the shade Invite Only, and finally I'm adding a little depth closer to the lash line with the shade Unapologetic. For my inner corner highlight, I'm applying the lightest shimmer from the palette, which is called All Access. Next, I'm curling my lashes with the Kevyn Aucoin lash curler, applying the Buxom Blackest Black Mascara to my lashes, and then popping on some false lashes from Glam drawer in the style A07. I'm tightlining with the Buxom Hold the Line waterproof eyeliner in Call Me, and also applying this to my waterline as well. I'm then buffing that out with the JH38 brush to create more of a smoky effect on the lower lash line, and going back in with the shade Werk to soften the edge of it. Finally, I'm applying mascara to my lower lashes, and that completes the first look. For the second look, I'm creating a dark smoky eye. First, I'm tapping on some Plouise base with the JH36 brush, and as always, making sure that it's covering the entirety of my eyelid. Next, I'm placing a piece of tape at an angle from the outer corner of my eye towards beneath the tail of my brow. I'm doing this because I want my eyeshadow to end in a sharp line. The first shadow I'm applying is the deep chocolate brown shade called Unapologetic. I'm packing this on with a dense JH37 brush so that I can quickly cover the entire lid space.
I know better than to call back. I missed your call, I finally think I'm fine with that. I know it hurts when love bites back, but it's your fault, I wish you'd just accept that. I got a better place to be, where the only focus is me. The waitlist got me feeling like I'm flying. I've been holding on to these dreams, I'm ready to take the leap, 'cause I've been holding that in your stars.
Once I've packed that on to be smooth and opaque, I'm beginning to blend upwards by applying the shade Werk along the top edge of the Unapologetic shade.
Your mistakes in the future, all the skies, they will all look blue.
I'm then taking the shade called Invite Only and sweeping the M562 brush back and forth, using windshield wiper in circular motions to blend out that Werk shade, making sure that it also touches the edge of the tape.
Waitlist got me feeling like I'm flying. I've been holding on to these dreams, I'm ready to take the leap, 'cause I've been holding that in your stars.
Next, I'm going back and reapplying those shades just as I did previously in order to enhance their color payoff. I'm first adding more of the darkest shade Unapologetic to the lid space, then blending it by applying the shade Werk into the crease area, and then blending the top edge of that with the Invite Only shade.
I'm on my last straw, I'm broken and I'm woken up. I'm done feeding your lies, I've had enough. I can't run your place in this faulty game, no. And all the words you speak mean nothing more to me, 'cause let's start over now.
Next, I'm taking my blending even further by sweeping this large fluffy blending brush along the top edge of the shadow closest to my brow bone, and now that all of the blending is complete, I'm removing the tape to reveal a nice sharp edge at the outer corner of my eye. For my lower lash line, I'm concentrating the dark brown shade called Unapologetic close to my lashes using the Morphe M508 brush, making sure to connect it to the shadow from the upper lid in the outer corner. Next, I'm adding the medium brown shade called Werk, and then I'm sweeping on some of the terracotta shade called Invite Only. For my inner corner highlight, I'm adding the shimmery shade called All Access, and for my brow bone, I'm applying the shade Star from the Mellow Cosmetics Stardust Glow Palette, which is the highlighter that I used on my face. Next, I'm curling my lashes with the Kevyn Aucoin Lash Curler, applying the Buxom Blackest Black Mascara, and popping on some Glam Drawer lashes in the style A07. For my upper and lower waterlines, I'm once again using the Hold the Line Waterproof Eyeliner by Buxom and buffing out the lower for a smoky effect. Finally, I'm applying mascara to my lower lashes, and that completes the second look. For the third and final look, I'm creating another half cut crease, but this time it's going to be matte rather than shimmery. First, I'm priming my eyelids with the Plouise base in the shade 0.5. Once it's tapped in to smoothly cover my entire lid space, I'm picking up the shade called Werk and applying this to my outer V and sweeping it into my crease without taking it all the way over to the inner corner of my eye. Next, I'm grabbing the Invite Only shade with the JH31 brush and sweeping this right above where we applied that previous shade, going from inner corner of my eye to the outer corner. Using a fluffier brush like this will create a softer effect and cover more area quicker than a smaller brush would. Next, I'm adding more of the shade Werk to the crease and outer V in order to darken the look and add more depth to the crease because I simply didn't add enough earlier and blending diminished its appearance a little too much.
But you laugh at me, take me to a place I'm calling for, open up the doors I'm knocking on, no, I'm losing control. Be the one to leave my fantasy, show you crave your hands on.
Now I'm blending that a bit more by adding some more of the Invite Only shade, and then I'm finishing up my blend by sweeping this clean JH30 brush along the top edge of the shadow. To cut my crease, I'm using the Plouise base and the JH42 brush and once again creating a half cut crease. Even though I have hooded eyes, I've practiced enough so that cutting my crease isn't as tough anymore. I've learned to place the product slightly above my natural crease in order to be able to see it when looking straight forward. Next, I'm adding some of the shade Werk to my outer V to blend it with the edge of where the Plouise base ended, and then I'm applying the shade Unapologetic to the edge of my lash line to give some depth to the outer V.
I kinda want to disappear with you, but I don't think that is what I would usually do. You know it's just like I felt the heat the moment he pressed his lips up against mine. Don't wanna fuck this whole thing up like I do every time.
I'm then adding some more of the shade Werk on top to blend it out, and adding the terracotta shade called Invite Only in between the base we applied and the darker shades in the outer V so that the shadows transition from light to dark on the lid space. Next, I'm packing this soft ivory matte shade called Cashmere Craving onto the blank space we cut out, and then I'm adding a little more of the shade Invite Only to connect that with the shades in the outer V. For my lower lash line, I'm applying the shades Werk and Unapologetic, and then blending them out with the shade Invite Only.
With my TV. You know I got to try to ignore these thoughts that go back and forth inside my head. Should stop before I'm
For my inner corner and brow bone, I'm highlighting with the shade called All Access. Next, I'm curling my lashes with the Kevyn Aucoin lash curler, applying some Buxom Blackest black mascara, and popping on some Glam drawer lashes in the style A07. I'm now tightlining with the Buxom Hold the Line waterproof eyeliner in Call Me, and applying this to my lower lash line as well, which I'm then buffing out with the JH38 brush, and once again softening the edge by reapplying the shades Werk and Invite Only. Finally, I'm applying mascara to my lower lashes, and that completes the 3 looks using the Buxom Boss Babe Betty palette. Let me know in the comments below which out of the 3 looks was your favorite, and thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time!